Michelle Thrush, award-winning actress, joining us today. Hi, Michelle. How you doing?
Hey, Wally. I'm doing good.
You guys haven't gotten snow yet?
Well, today there's this warning that we're getting snow, so everybody's just really, I don't think we're very happy right now in Calgary since summer hasn't even ended yet.
We are here to talk about the making of Treaty 7. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic performance, which is a groundbreaking theatrical presentation, which features quite the cast.
Yes, we have got altogether about 26 performers on stage, and it's one of the largest theater productions I've ever been a part of, so it's pretty exciting.
Now, what can you tell us about the making of Treaty 7?
Well, this was something that began back in 2012. Michael Green, who is very well known here in Calgary in the theater world, he was our artistic director of a festival here in Calgary called Calgary 2012. It was when we were the creative artistic capital of Canada for 1 year. And part of that festival for Michael as the artistic director was to bring on board all different types of performances throughout the city. And so he approached a bunch of us who are who are from Calgary here, who are Aboriginal, and he formed a committee. And we met, every few weeks, and we talked about how can we make a creative impact in this festival also. And part of that coming together as a committee, we decided we wanted to do something that would leave a legacy beyond 2012. And so we discussed what could we do as an Aboriginal community that would do that. And we came up with Making Treaty 7, which is exploring and speaking about what Treaty 7 means to Southern Alberta and looking at it through the eyes of Indigenous people. A lot of documentation and writing took place about the signing of Treaty 7 in 1877, but it all came from the settlers' point of view. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to explore what it meant to the Indigenous people, what the true spirit and intent of signing that treaty in 1877 meant to the 5 communities that are part of Treaty 7 here in Southern Alberta, and also about giving honor and allowing that voice to be heard. So that was a big part of why we put it together, so that was something that's never happened before. And it was about not only the signing of Treaty 7, but leading up to Treaty 7. What was the difficult situation that was leading up to that with smallpox and all the things that were happening, starvation, the decimation of the buffalo, and then what were the repercussions and what is happening in today's society that is part of that signing of Treaty 7.
Mm-hmm. And also for beyond, for whatever lies ahead.
Exactly. And it's also about including everybody in Southern Alberta, because Southern Alberta, everyone is, treaty. If you live here and you are part of this land here, whether you're Indigenous or non-Indigenous, you are treaty, because that treaty took place between the Native people and the residents that live here. So we include everyone, that we're all treaty people here in Southern Alberta. So that's why it's so important that everybody understands what that treaty was about.
Mm-hmm. And all about diversity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's awesome because we have this installment. This is our 3rd installment of Making Treaty 7, and every time we've done it, it gets bigger in a cast. It gets bigger. We've now got a whole musical component with Chris Demeanor and the Crack Band, as well as Eahey Nakota singers. They're power singers out of Morley, Alberta, the Nakota Nation. So that is a new part of the installment. We've brought in more performers who are also Native and non-Native, so our family's getting bigger as far as being on stage. And then this part of this installment, I've come on as a co-director as well as performer. So every time we come together, it just evolves and changes. And right now, like I said, we have 26 performers on stage, and it's huge.
We're talking with Michelle Thrush this morning about the making of Treaty 7. Now, Michelle, this production, there is a lot of support from the community, again, from the Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal community.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
There definitely is. The times, because as I said, this is our 3rd time mounting it. The first time and the second time we did it was after spending 2-3 weeks in Banff at the Banff Centre for the Performing Arts. We came together as artists listening to the elders' stories, listening to the oral passing down of what happened at that signing. As artists, we went away, we came back with performances. So it's all different types of performances in this show. It's not a linear story. But both times that we've mounted this, it's been completely a packed house. This time when we're mounting it, we're actually selling tickets for the first time. So we're calling it our world premiere. And we're excited because people are buying the tickets. They're coming to support. We're getting a lot of media for this show. And it's going to be one of the biggest extravaganzas of Southern Alberta. It's pretty exciting.
Michelle, being a part of such a beautiful presentation for something that has plagued and I guess it's hard to explain this, but I know if I was sitting there and I'm watching this and I know the history and I'm learning more as I'm sitting there, how emotional that this could be for the audience. I can't even imagine how you would feel because you're being a part of this. You're recreating something with everybody. Like how do you, like, I know you have to embrace it, but I mean, is it difficult sometimes to kind of...
I know what you're saying, and honestly, it has been very emotional. Mm-hmm. We have elders with us, and every single day, we rehearse 6 days a week, of course. We're doing theater hours at the Big Secret Theater here in Calgary, which is part of One Yellow Rabbit. And every single day, we begin our day with smudging and a circle and prayers. And, of course, we ask the ancestors to be a part of this process because it is intense. We have an elder in our cast who never acted in his life and actually came on board as a cultural advisor. He's from the Kainai, the Blood Reserve in Southern Alberta. His name is Narcissus Blood. And through the process, he became an actor, and now he's on stage. But, reliving these testimonies of what residential school did to him, what, he saw in residential school. Residential school is a large component of the show, and it's near the end. We do 3 or 4 performances that just deal with that. And daily there's tears in our rehearsal process because of intergenerational trauma that's still happening. And that's, there's other things that we talk about, the smallpox, starvation, women, how important women are to our culture. All these different components of what it means to be a part of Indigenous communities that have been through treaty signing and what that means, the keeping Native people on their reserves without allowing them to leave. All this stuff is brought out, and so many people don't even know an iota of what what Native people have been through. We walked down 8th Avenue Mall the other day. As part of our show, we had a tape recorder, and we walked down the mall, myself and our sound engineer, and we went up to random people with the tape recorder, and we just asked, do you live in Calgary, first of all? Have you lived here your whole life? What do you know about Treaty 7? And about 95% of the people we asked did not know anything about Treaty 7. And to me, this is, if you live here in Southern Alberta, you should know the history of what has gone on here and how Calgary came to be, what Southern Alberta is about, what Indigenous people gave up so that, everybody could be here, what the true intent and spirit of that treaty was from the Indigenous point of view. So it's a very interesting process.
Wow. Now, Michelle, the debut of Making of Treaty 7 is taking place this week and into the weekend. Where is it all happening?
Well, we're doing it at Heritage Park, and we open up on Thursday evening. It's at the Chautauqua tent, and if you want more information on tickets, you can go to www.heritagepark.com/Making Treaty 7. There's 316 seats in this tent, and we intend on filling every seat every night. The tickets are going fast, but there's still about 40% of the tickets left because we know how our own people are. They're going to show up on the night, and they're not good at reserving, right? So, yeah, that's what's going to happen. But, yeah, we go Thursday night, and then we go Saturday night and Sunday night. And I heard a little rumor that on Sunday night we have the mayor of Calgary coming to the show, so it's going to be pretty good. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic time, and a lot of hard work went into it. Michelle Thrush, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I just want to say also that we would love to welcome down Treaty 8 and Treaty 6 to come down and join us for this celebration, and we would like to extend out to all the treaty areas in Canada to start looking at your own signings and what you can do to promote and educate the people in your treaty areas about those signings.